one super cool experience. So after the mission split in Ogden, I got put in downtown Salt Lake City, which was completely different because I'd mostly served in Davis County and Tremont, which basically means I've served in country and like more wealthy, like high populated member areas. And Salt Lake City was actually, there's not nearly as many members. The population's dropping a lot. So it was a lot different. It was like 95% in like Davis County, and it's like 40% or something like that in Salt Lake. And so one of the cool experiences, we got a referral from, I don't remember where, but Daniel Boyce is his name. And so we went over a couple times, my companion, I think it was Elder Ring at the time, we went over to visit Daniel Boyce, and I don't think we caught him. I think it took about 3 or 4 times to catch him. And so it was kind of like, are we ever going to catch him? We finally did, started teaching him, and we had some great lessons with him and just saw him really have that desire to change and have the gospel of Jesus Christ in his life. And then he kind of disappeared for a little bit, and we're like, okay, sure. I don't know where he went. And then I got a new companion, and a couple weeks after I got a new companion, he came back, and he called us up and was like, I want to meet with you again. And so we're like, sweet, like, this is awesome. Like, we're totally down. And so we started meeting with him again, and we even set a date with him, or we're pretty close setting a date. From what we knew, we thought he was going to be baptized within like October. We thought it was going to happen for sure. And he disappeared again. Never heard from him again. I had a year left on my mission, and I was like, well, that's kind of down. 2 weeks, no, not 2 weeks. About a day ago, yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever it was, sometime this week, I get an email from my old companion, Elder Danes, and he tells me, hey, you know Daniel who you used to be teaching? Yeah, I know Daniel. Well, he's getting baptized not this Saturday, but next Saturday, and he wants you to be there. And so it was just a testimony to me that everybody has a time frame, and sometimes it takes 2 years for somebody, even having been taught before, but then 2 years later, they're ready. And Daniel, who we got to teach, is now getting baptized. And so whenever you have an investigator that you're teaching, and it's been a couple months, and you have to drop them or they disappear and it just doesn't happen, that's not the end for them. That doesn't mean a thing. They could still be prepared within, a month, a year, 2, 3, whatever. But don't give up hope on people. People are willing to change, and the Lord sent you there to be an instrument, to let them feel His Spirit through you. And just another cool experience, real quick, is my same companion, actually, Elder Shu. We were in Salt Lake City again, and we get a referral. Well, no, I guess with Elder Ring, I got the referral. That doesn't really matter. We got the referral, but we got a referral for this guy named Eugene. So we visit him. He says, Eugene's not here, he's in Korea, my name's Gino. And we're like, okay. But we're like, well, are you interested? And so we taught him the first lesson in his house. It was like about a short 5-minute lesson anyway, and invited him to be baptized. And he said, no, I don't want to make this decision. And so we're like, we didn't think too much of it. 2 weeks later, it's daily planning at night, you'll do that. And so one thing Elder Ring and I had been started trying to do is praying and saying, okay, Lord, where should we go? Praying more fervently and asking, where do we need to be at this time? The Spirit's like, Eugene. We're like, why? Like, he already told us no. He's like, do it. Okay, fine. We show up to visit Eugene that day, the next day after we'd planned and all that, and meet with him. He tells us he had a dream basically saying that, I think I am going to start learning. You guys have started the ball rolling. And so he started to take the lessons from us, and he was interested. He changed in 2 weeks. He was not interested at all. And then 2 weeks later, he was like, I think I am. And after a month of teaching him, we saw so much change. He had a problem with smoking. And as we taught him the word of wisdom, and as he really lived the gospel and started to do it, he was a different man, completely different, and he was baptized. And it was just cool to see that. Once again, you don't know these people. God does. He knows their hearts. He knows everything. He's known them since before they were here on this earth. And he knew exactly what it would take to get them to accept his gospel and to receive those blessings. So whenever you have people that you aren't sure about, keep praying about it. Don't just give up. And realize too, there's a time frame. People will make those covenants. You don't know when. You just got to do your part and just invite and share and teach, and everything will work out the way it needs to. One of my favorite areas of my mission was Colville, Utah. So awesome. It's just this really small town, like 3,000 people, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's more, but that's what I thought it was. And so we get put in this area, and it's the missionaries before us. One of them was he was doing really good. He was really working hard, and actually we had a baptism because of this kid. Like, he was really just working his butt off. And so we go to this girl's baptism. Her name was Lucero Portillo, and we find out her husband's not a member, and we're like, I wonder if we can get him to learn more. And so we try to go and visit him and teach him. I was just using this microphone. And at first he wasn't really interested, and it was really hard to get in touch with him. It was like a struggle the whole way through. And then one day we were able to meet with him, and there was a point in time where I was asking President, it might be useful to have a Spanish missionary here. And so we got a Spanish missionary. El Randino came up to Colville with me, and we started teaching him. And at first he didn't seem like too interested. It seemed like he was more Catholic and had a hard time separating like the apostasy and everything. So we're kind of frustrated. We're like, no, we know you're ready. We know you can do this. Philip was his name, and we're like, Philip, like you can do this. Like, you've got it. And he just wasn't all that interested. But then as time went, once again, we actually I wasn't there, but my companion was teaching with a split, and Philip said, I want to do this. I want to get baptized. Like, I'm ready for it. And so we were able to baptize Philip and Lucero, husband and wife. I'm not sure about any sealing or anything yet, but it was just cool just to see that family to come into the waters of baptism one after another. And you'll have that in your mission, where you'll see families make that covenant together. And it's awesome just to witness when they both make that decision.